We'll finish with the bottom set of questions here in Chapter 3, Section 2, which is asking me to find the distance between each pair of points. Now, the book describes the procedure for finding the distance between the pairs of points here. What the book describes is that when you're trying to find the horizontal distance between 2 points, subtract their x values. When you're trying to find the vertical distance between 2 points, you're going to subtract their y values. So what's necessary here is that we're going to have to plot the points and then figure out if it's a horizontal or vertical leap, and then from that calculate the distance based on what's stated in the book. So if we look at 15, we're plotting points A and B. Now, as you can see, what's kind of nice here is that's actually already done for us. We're finding the distance between these 2 guys right there. So we want to subtract, because it's a vertical distance, the y values. Now, if you get stumped there and you're trying to remember which one is which, we'll take a look at the points. If we look at the x values here, they're the same. Well, if we subtract those, we're going to get 0. But obviously, there's more than no jumps or 0 jumps between those 2 points. So it wouldn't make any sense to subtract the x values. And you can use that same logic every time, whether it's a horizontal or vertical distance. The y values here are 8 and -8. So to find the distance, I'm going to subtract those 2 values, 8 minus -8. Well, remember, minus a negative changes into plus, so the distance between A and B is 16 units. And you can see we count that on the graph, we'll get the same answer to verify. Notice that each jump here represents 2, because the graph is set up by 2's. So as we count it off, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, the distance measures whether we use the method of computation as described in the book, or whether we just count it off based on looking at the graph. All right, let's go ahead and look at question 16 to finish. We're looking for the distance between C and D. So here's C and here's D. Now again, if you're having a hard time remembering what do I subtract, look at the y values here. They're the same, -4 and -4. If I subtract those, I'm going to get 0. And obviously, it's a greater distance than that. So don't subtract those 2, subtract the other ones. All right, so here I'm going to subtract the other ones, the 6 and the -8. Again, minus a negative is going to change into plus, so it's a distance of 14 between points C and D. We can watch that verify by counting off. Remember, the graph goes by 2's. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. And indeed, our distance of 14 verifies.